So I've been doing a lot of soul searching lately since my diagnosis a year ago, and in a recent video I kind of broke down where I am 1 year post-diagnosis. Has it really changed my life? Was it worth it? And I, definitely came to the conclusion that it was worth it, and it did allow me to kind of perceive things through a different lens, cut myself some slack, give myself a break. But now I feel like I'm at the portion, and of course this is not just due to an autism diagnosis. I'm at kind of a pivotal point in life. I'm my late 40s, kids have moved out of the house, perimenopausal, parents are gone. And it's kind of this, well, what do I want to do with the rest of my life thing? But it's come with a lot of soul searching of not just what do I want to do with the rest of my life, but who am I? Because I really think you start to kind of pick that apart, especially when you start unmasking in any capacity. So in today's brief video, I just want to share with you a little exercise that I have been doing and working on that is kind of helping me establish, who am I underneath the mask? Who am I without the people-pleasing behavior? Who am I if I just am myself? And who the hell is that when you've been masking for almost 50 years, right? But one of those things, and I think this is key, and it's a lot more difficult than it sounds, because I've really been kind of working on this and compiling this for weeks now, is what are my core values? Like, what are the core things about me that I value in myself, that I value in others, that I want to build a life around? What are those core pillars of who I am? And I did make a little note, a little list today because my brain is not fully functioning right now. So I wanted to kind of have something to refer to. But I was able to kind of break it down into 4 pillars or core values of my own. And I will go over those with you so that you can kind of maybe think about that for yourself and think about how you would establish or determine your own core values. So as I said, this has taken me a few weeks to kind of sit down and really think about, like, what are the things that I value? What are the things that I value both in myself as a person? What do I find valuable about who I am? And what do I really value and look for in connections and in other people and in things that I would pursue, business opportunities, jobs, things like that. And these are the fundamental things that you don't always set up for yourself. A lot of it comes from your upbringing, how you were raised, or the childhood that you had, or maybe those core values are some that you adopted from family core values or from friend group core values. And that's a really good exercise to kind of sit down and evaluate, like, what values do you have that you maybe picked up from somebody else and they're not really serving you. So my core values, the 4 pillars that I found, things that I really value about myself, again, about interactions that I may have with other people, like these are the people that I would really connect with. These are the jobs that would really fulfill me. These are the pursuits that would really interest me. They would all have these 4 components. So the first one sounds very simple, but it is definitely a core value of mine. And that is to find joy, peace, comfort in small things. To really be someone, appreciate other people who, find employment that is able to embrace the beauty, the joy, the comfort in the small moments of life, in the small everyday little things, to scale down and not search for these huge, maybe existential, esoteric truths, but just to find the truth and the beauty and the joy and the comfort in the little things. And I have found, upon doing many life reviews, and of course this most recent one since my diagnosis, that I really do find the most comfort, the most moments of peace, the most moments of joy in the little tiny things, the things that aren't really life-changing, or maybe super evolving, but they're just little everyday things. Like, for example, my biggest comfort, my biggest joy, is quiet time on my couch with my favorite blanket on my lap, and no time pressure. That is a huge, valuable thing for me. The second core value is depth and authenticity. Again, both in myself, in others, and in any pursuits that I may go after. I want there to be some depth, which may seem contradictory to the previous value of joy in small things. But when I say depth, I mean that not just surface level. Authenticity, truth, valuing authenticity over approval. And I would want any relationship that I had to have those things, and I would want any job or any pursuit that I have to have those things. I would want there to be a level of depth, something that would keep me interested, intrigued, delving deeper into it. And then that authenticity, that there's no hidden layers, there's no subtext, and those are two things that I strive to present in this channel, in how I appear publicly and privately, is depth and authenticity. My third core value, my third pillar, would be expression. Be that through art, verbally, written. The ability to express myself is incredibly important to me, for any kind of fulfillment in life, any kind of life satisfaction. And that is also, again, something that I would need in any kind of relationship, in any kind of job. I wouldn't want to work somewhere where my voice is constantly silenced. I wouldn't want to be in relationship with someone where I could not express myself or express my own thoughts, or that they would, speak down to me about my thoughts, or, anything like that. The ability to express, and for me to express creatively, to have that creative outlet, be it through making videos like this, or painting, or just making weird stuff, which I like to do. That is a huge, huge core value for me as far as life fulfillment goes, and things that I need to feel satisfied in my life. It's something I value deeply within myself and within others. And the fourth core value, pillar of my core values, would be expansion. And I put a note: through knowledge, pain and suffering, or experience. I specifically chose the word expansion after a lot of thinking about this idea, because I was one of those people that was on a constant kick to improve themselves, to be better, to, know more, do better, whatever the case may be, make my body better, think better. And I was always on this self-help trip to fix what I conceived as broken or wrong, or what I had been told was broken or wrong. But now I realize that what I really have been seeking all of this time is not improvement, but expansion. It is to really be able to break down the experiences that I have in the moment, that I have had in the past, future experiences, and how that has expanded me as a human, spiritually, physically. And when I say expansion, I have this vision, because I do think in pictures, having you are a container. You hear that a lot in the spiritual communities. You are a container. But rather than being a container, like a glass mason jar that you are just kind of constantly stuffing things in, it would be more like a big satchel that expands with each new thing that you put in it. And it is just ever growing, and there is no limit to that expansion. Again, this may sound like kind of a lofty existential thing to have as a core value. But for me, the ability to expand from my experiences, to really look at things from perspectives of, okay, that was awful, but it did help me grow. That loss was terrible, but it did transform me. And to be able to expand throughout the rest of my life. And again, to seek that out in people that I would have relationship with, to find people that are also in that expansive, they call it a growth mindset, but something of that nature. Somebody that is always looking to learn a little bit more, to find out a little bit more, to kind of explore their own habits and behaviors and the habits and behaviors of others. And again, a job, a business pursuit, a life pursuit, that would also be something that I would want to be expansive, the capacity to grow, to learn through new challenges and new experiences. So that would be the last of my 4 pillars of my core values. So to summarize, my core values that I've parsed out over this, thought experiment of a few weeks are first, to find joy, peace, comfort in small things. Second, depth and authenticity. Third, expression through creativity, verbally, the ability to express freely. And expansion, the ability to grow, the opportunity and the space to grow and expand from my experiences. And again, while they all sound like very simple things, they are things that took me a while to come to the realization that this is a core value for me. This is something that makes me who I am, that I am not fully me if I am not able to experience these things. And that again, that any, relationships going forward, friendships, groups that I would be in, I would want them to also have these qualities because they are something that is valuable to me. They are a core value. So hopefully this video made a little sense to you and maybe would put you on a thought train of your own like this when you're going through maybe an unmasking journey. And reevaluating your life post-diagnosis or post-realization that you are autistic or ADHD or neurodivergent, when you're trying to drop all of the chameleon behavior and the people-pleasing behavior, to really kind of come to terms with what is it you need and who are you when all of that is stripped away. And I encourage you to maybe sit down and do some thinking about this yourself, establishing your own core values and what things are really important to you that you inhibit, that you find in others, that you find in groups, and that you would want in any job or business opportunity that you would pursue. I hope that you enjoyed this video and our little chat today, and let me know if you found any of this information helpful. I would love to hear your comments if you were able to easily establish upon watching this, oh yeah, that would be one of my core values. Let me know in the comments what one of your core values would be, or if you're going to pursue this idea of establishing your core values so that moving forward, you know what you need to be fulfilled and satisfied and happy in your life as a neurodivergent. And as always, I thank you for hanging out with me today. I appreciate you being here, and I will see you in the next one.